Welcome to Mind, Body, and Soul Awakening, a show where we celebrate resilience and inspire transformation. Our guests share their stories of how they overcame a trauma and turned it into a triumph. I am your host, Stars Tina. Get excited and let's have some fun. Hey, hello, and happy day to you and also you. You already know who I am. I am Stars Tina, and I'm so excited to be here with you again on this Wednesday to elevate. Let's repeat that. Elevate your business. As you know, we have our event coming up in as little as 4 weeks. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. And each week we have been bringing you one of the sponsors or one of the speakers, and I'm so excited about today's speaker. Let me tell you, the event is December 14th, 15th, and 16th. It is virtual. So there is no excuse why you can't be there. If you have a business, you want to have a business, you're thinking of starting a business, or you know someone, you want to be here. Yes, it's the end of the year. And this is the best opportunity to evaluate and look at everything you've done throughout the whole year. Okay, did I do that right? Did I do that? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. These are very important things when it comes to running a successful business. You don't want to make the same mistakes next year, right? No, nobody wants to do that. So I created this event last year because I had such an amazing year. And I just sat there and I was like, how did you do this, Tina? And the person who is our special guest today, I'm going to call her one of the founders. I'm just going to say that because she gave me the confidence, the strength to just go a little bit higher and push a little bit more for the event last year. I wanted to talk to people that inspired me because, whenever I'm around, I'm going to motivate you, right? After I motivate you, I'm going to inspire you. And then I'm going to educate you, give you the tools, the skills, and the strategies to build your business and to build your life. And this woman did that. When I first heard her speak, okay, it wasn't what she said. It's what she did. Because I always say actions speak louder than words, right? People can talk. Well, I did this and I did this and I did that. And I think for me, it was the fact that she had done a TEDx, because that is still a target that I'm shooting for, that I will hit next year. And besides the TEDx, she was doing a podcast. And I was like, wow, I think I want to do a podcast. That's pretty cool. And now she has her own television network, and her energy is just full of love. Like, as I'm hugging myself right now, when you hear her speak, she's always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen her with a sad face. Just like, no, I think it's like she has like these things, this superpower around her that just gets rid of all the. Let me just hush. Let's bring it up. Make some noise. Give it up for.
She's so cute. So fun. If we can only get you a little excited and get you some energy going, you could be, do something with your life, Stars Tina.
Girl.
I'm just saying.
Girl, I am so grateful for you. Yes, you see she has an Emmy award in the background. And besides the Emmy, I see a bunch of little awards on the side. And it's really important. Okay. Yes, I'm going to say that. Yes, it is important to get awards because it shows that you're putting in the work. It's showing that you're getting results. And that's what she does. Every single person that she works with, and you don't even have to work with her. You just have to be in her orbit. That's what I say with people with me, Aurea. If you're in my orbit, like if you're around me, you're going to get results, right? And that's what happens with her. So, Aurea, I told them a little bit about you, but if you could give your own 1-minute spiel of who you are, what you do, anything, share with us, please, would love.
Well, Stars Tina, for you, I'll say something special because I love your platform of traumedy. I mean, that's your quoted word. That I think of that as your signature word that you really came up with and have run with, because it's about not having that trauma, that tragedy and trauma put together. And long story short, for me, what I do now comes from a traumedy of my own, which is having cancer. In 99, when they took out half of both my lungs and my thymus and the lining around my heart, disconnected half my diaphragm, and they took out my vocal cord nerve, left nerve, told me I never speak above a faint whisper ever again. So I have this platform since then that God gave me to be the voice of good news, sharing the limelight with good people, nonprofits, people that are making this world a better place, because the news spends enough time on all the bad news. You and I were just talking before we started this live. They don't even watch the news anymore. I don't blame you. I only get bits and pieces, and it's like you're just seeing what's blowing up near me today to see if I need to take a detour, going somewhere. It's gotten that bad. but who's spotlighting good people, good work, good entrepreneurs, good nonprofits? So that was my calling after they told me I'd never speak again. God's so funny that way. When people say impossible, where he knows it means I'm possible, him being the possible one. So I've been speaking for a living ever since they told me I couldn't and shouldn't and wouldn't. Went on and won the Emmy Award for my TV talk show for having a talk show when I wasn't supposed to talk. And I was 48 years old when I won that. I love to give women hope over 40. And then I went on to the TEDx stage at 60. In between there, doing events.
Wait. Did you say 60?
Yeah, at 60, I did the TEDx stage.
I
2
thought
years
you
ago.
were like my age, like 50, 51.
I'm actually still 21, okay? Age is
You
just
look
a
great.
number.
Go ahead.
Thank you. But I love to give women hope. It doesn't matter how old you are, what your size is, what your color is, what your age is. Women, we get all caught up in all that. Guys don't tend to care. They can age, they don't care, and all that. But women, it matters to us. It's always like, am I too old at 40? Is it too late at 45? Mary Kay Ash didn't even start Mary Kay Cosmetics until she was 45. You all have got to see the movie NIDA. Holy cow. I posted that. I'm a TV fanatic and I love movies. Rarely do I post something about it though, but I stumbled across NIDA, and Jodie Foster and Annette Bening just did it. And it's this woman who at 64 did something amazing. Stars, Tina, you would love it. It's physical strength that you would think it is impossible at that age to do what she did. You've got to see it. Stop what you're doing later and watch.
How do you spell it?
NIDA is it's her name, NYDA. It's on Netflix. Go watch it tonight. It will inspire you like nothing else. I really thought it was going to be one of those movies she was going to die trying, because it's absolutely so impossible what she did.
I love this. I love everything about you. You're joy. You're just pure joy, pure sunshine, pure everything. I don't think you have an evil bone in your body, and if so, let's just hide it. But I don't know about it.
Bad things happen, but I just have that, like you do. You're the same way, Stars Tina. Is we just go over, under, around our throat. Doesn't mean our life is perfect. Our lives are far from perfect. You've had trauma in your life. My dad was murdered by the mafia when I was 15. You've had a horrible, horrible incident in your life, losing your child, and I just can't imagine just sitting around and just moping about it and doing nothing and feeling the whole world is bad because of what we experienced. For some reason, we got the cards we dealt, and we know God put us on this earth for a reason. And if we have to go through that, we find people we can go through it together. And the people we've lost would want that. And when our time comes to go be with the Lord, we want our loved ones to continue on. We don't want them to sit around and grieve. Nobody knows how we're going to go. And no matter what that way is, whether it's nice and old age, dying in your sleep at 110, great. Or if it's something before that's tragic, keep living your life. We all only get one life. And we want that for each other. But we can't do it alone. We got to stick with like-minded people. Say, cards stink, but okay, well, take your time to process. Take your time to grieve. We got to scream and shout and cry. Yes. And then we have to say, okay, now what are we going to do?
So I'm just curious, because I know you do a lot of TV. You're on camera a lot. So when you go out into the world, because it's easier when you're here, right? When you're in the clubhouse room, we're all with like-minded people. But this weekend, I was in New Jersey, so I was around regular people, and it was like, I'm gonna say regular people because we're different, right? We're built different, we breathe different, everything is different. What do you think makes us different? Because people say to me all the time, "Well, Tina, you're so motivated. We're always doing this, and for me, it's like just regular." What do you think makes us different than others? I'll say that.
I think we all have that different spark in us. Not everybody was meant to be the way we are. There's those 4 different personality qualities. We need introverts. We need tech people. We need people that can do a 9 to 5. We need ADD people. We need all of us to make the world go round. Because face it, if you were surrounded by just Stars, Tina, and Aurea and a whole bunch of us all day long, you'd be exhausted by the end of the day. Nothing would really get done. I mean, there'd be no technology. There'd be no cure for cancer, So it takes the whole world to go round. So do what you do, be the life of your party.
Yes.
And enjoy, but don't forget to enjoy the other people in the room, because there's a lot of knowledge to be learned by people that aren't swinging from the chandelier and aren't the loudest in the room or the one making the jokes, the one that may be sitting down in a quiet space that could be the next person you need to collaborate with and get to know. So be very aware of your surroundings and your groups when you're out in the real world to get to know other people that are not like you, not like me. Find opposites, because those are the people we need in our space. They need us and we need them. If we filled our team with stars, Tinas, and Aureas, our technology is not getting done. Our details are not being done. We need VAs that aren't like us, that have attention to detail, that love to organize, that love the back end technology. We need an accountant. I will never be anybody's accountant. I just love my accountant. Thank God she loves numbers. I'm like, really? I'd rather die, pay taxes, or eat a bug than do numbers. But thank God she does. So we're all amazing in our own talents. We're just louder.
Yes.
That's all.
I love it. I love it. So if you guys don't know, she is one of our speakers. I told you that she's like, for me, a founding speaker, because she was like, well, let's get this person. And I was thinking small. So Aurea, as you know, last year it was one day. This year I said, you know what, let's make it a little bigger, 2 days. I said, no, let's just have it in person. I don't even live in Orlando, but Angeline lives there and some others. So we're having the event in person as well. So I'm super excited. Now, you speaking to a new person, tell us the topics you're going to be speaking about in the event. And if you could drop one nugget today that people can look forward to.
Well, I'm going to be talking about how to embrace the power of TV podcasting and TEDx stages. People these days still need to get celebritized. Nobody can buy from you if they don't know you exist. They don't know you have the solution to their pain, whatever that is. And you've got to embrace the power of podcasting, whether you have your own show or whether you're on other people's shows. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, should you be on other shows? Who should they be? Whose shows should you be on? Who should you say no to? Should you be your own show host? How should you do that? A show host? Should you be interviewing other people, or should you be the one and only edutainer on the show? So lots to unpack, and I will take questions as well. And on that note, many people want to get on a TEDx stage these days as well. What will that do for your business? What will it not do for your business? Who is it for, and who is it not for? It's a very specific stage. So we're going to talk about those nuts and bolts and show how you can really explode your business without having to just feel so frustrated with social media these days, because social media keeps changing their algorithms. You're always wondering, why did this post get so many and this post is crickets when this is really my juice? This post was like everything and I got nothing. But this crazy one-off post got 500 views or whatever. I'm like, but that doesn't do anything for my business. So it's this craziness of social media. Should you get on TikTok? Should you not? Blah blah blah. But you cannot argue with the power of podcasting and TEDx stages. So we're going to talk about that. So if I could give you a golden nugget, let me do this. Let me say, what should I say, golden nugget?
Before you get into your golden nugget, I'll give you a little pause time here.
Okay.
I've noticed lately there's a lot of people and they want to do everything. They're all over the place. Do you think that an entrepreneur or a business owner should focus on one thing before they start getting celebritized? And when I say get celebritized, have a podcast, do some lives, write a book, stuff like that. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, you have to be a bit of a multitasker to be an entrepreneur, for one thing. So you have to be everywhere, but you don't have to focus your time everywhere all the time. You wouldn't have time to do your business. So step one is, do you have a profitable business? Are you a health coach? You have clients, you're making money, you're in business. So then we can market a business that is viable. Think to yourself, can you handle 10 more clients today? If 10 people see you or see a post and they all jump in and want to buy your product or service, can you handle 10 more clients? If not, you've got to start there with your customer journey. Do you have a business that makes you money? There's no reason to market yourself if you're not leading them somewhere.
Can you repeat that again, please? Can you repeat that again, please?
No, what I say, there's no reason to market to people if you're not leading them somewhere, unless you're just an entertainer. And I say just, unless you're getting paid to be a comedian, a storyteller, unless TikTok is paying you big bucks to show the lipstick you're wearing today, there's no reason to do all that if you're not leading them to your product or service, your package, your website, your event, whatever you're doing. So make sure you're establishing how you make money. Now the fun begins as far as marketing, but you've got to spend that quality time on your business. Otherwise, you get the cart before the horse. You're doing all this social media. You're going to look back in 6 months and say, why am I not making money? Oh, I'm not leading them anywhere. So, I even say that to people who want to come on my network and have a show. Well, where are you going to lead them to? What is your expertise? Do you have a business that can sustain this, that you have a marketing budget for it? Because you are making money. You have clients coming in. You have a business. You're a chiropractor. You're a beautician. You're a massage therapist. You're a VA, an assistant, whatever. You're in business. Because then people get to know, like, and trust you. And they'll want to do business with the host. It's like a crazy high number. 74% of people that listen to podcasts buy from the host, not from their guest, from the host. So it's important that can people buy something from you? You don't have to use your show as an infomercial, and you don't. But just by being like, don't we want to buy from Oprah? Oprah doesn't have a sales, infomercial, but don't we want to buy everything that's on her favorite things list? If she writes a book, we want to buy that book. She does an event, we want to go to her event. Is that what her shows are about? Absolutely not. Her shows are spotlighting other people and stories, but we love her. If you're an Oprah fan, you love her. So she doesn't have to say, buy my book, buy this, buy that. She just got into our world. And those of us who love what she did, loved her work, respect her trauma, overcoming her life to be where she is. You have to respect that. And when she comes to town or does something, we want a piece of it. That's what will happen to your fan base too. So make sure you have a viable business, and then podcasting, like social media, becomes your marketing for it. So, and then when you can get help, like I know you've got the fabulous Angeline on your team. Everybody needs help to manage social media when that time comes. But don't start managing social media if, again, you're not leading them to some profit. To make sales is an honorable thing. We have to buy food to feed our family. It's honorable for that grocery store to sell us food. Solves the pain of hunger, right? It's honorable for you to have the business you do. So get that business tight. Then start seeking out marketing ways and social media. Still be relevant on social media. Keep playing with it. But when you get serious, you have a business. Now you're going to make that social media or podcasting or being on other people's shows or collabing with people and being on event stages like Stars Tina's. I mean, you collab with somebody like her doing an event. Yes, but don't even try to do that unless you have some place to lead them to. Because you're not getting paid to do events anymore. That's a thing of the past. Big paid speakers. I mean, even the big guys aren't getting paid, but they used to get paid. They have to have their back of the room sales that really is worth their while to be there now.
I love it. I love it. We're still going to have that golden nugget. That's going to be your outro, the golden nugget. Okay. We have a couple more minutes here with our guys. So share with us a client that you've had over the years that you're so proud of, and it could make you cry. It excites you so much. Is there any client of yours that you can think of that did that for you?
Oh my gosh, one of them, and normally we don't even say names, but she says it all the time, everywhere. One of my dearest clients is Linda Gunter, who has the Love Him, Love Them nonprofit. And she wrote me the nicest testimony. She's been in my life now for over 5 years. I met her when I was hosting Atlanta Live here in Atlanta, and we became fast friends. Ever just click with somebody? And she became my client for years and years. And she wrote the nicest testimony for me, because she said she's a doer. She is sharp. She goes, Ray, tell me what to do. And she does it. She got her own television show. She got her own podcast. She wrote 2 books. I helped her with the cover. I helped her with the marketing. I helped her raise almost $60,000 for her nonprofit. And she wrote her testimony. If you listen to what Aurea says in her Profit from Being You programs and do what she says to do and take action, you could have all this too. So she gave such accolades to me, teaching her what needed to be done, but then going out and taking action, which is exactly what she did. And we all, as students, need to do that, because all of us need a coach, depending on where you are in I like to say the conga line of life, whether you need more help with finances or customer journey or marketing or social media, you always have to have a coach that's further along to help you get to that next step. None of us are Yoda. None of us have all arrived. Oh, I don't need a coach anymore. Yeah, we do. Oprah and Tony Robbins have over 5 coaches at any one time. They all do different expertise. Again, So always having wise people around you. So it's people like Linda that really make it a joy when they say, thank you, Ray. I just got a book. I just got a show. She was on so many TV shows, and then she started her own TV show. I mean, just on and on and on just the last 5 years. So that's cool. But she was an action taker, and that's what it takes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Action takers.
Action
So
we can lead them to water, but we can't make them drink. We all know that story.
That's true.
And we have
And
to
I
say
love
the same thing to us too. As coaches, we have to practice what we preach. We cannot say, do this, do that, have a coach, blah, blah. And we're sitting around eating bonbons and not doing what we say for our clients to do. So always we're taking wise counsel with somebody ahead of us. And then we're able to, that's why I call it a conga line. We're hanging on to somebody else's hips that's in front of us, while the other people are hanging onto our hips that we're ahead of. So we're always in the middle. There's people we can bring up to where we are and somebody ahead of us that we can reach up and go up to where they are. So a constant conga line.
Yes, you call it a conga line. I call it the monkey effect.
Oh, hanging on the monkeys. I like that.
So it's like you
He's
reach
a little
down.
girl of monkeys.
Yes. So yeah, and that's exactly what the monkey effect is, right? Where you reach down and you pull someone else up. That's just like, that's how I feel. All right, girlfriend. Give us your golden nuggets.
Okay, the golden nugget for the day. Drum roll, please. Let me think a good golden nugget. Never drawn a blank before. Let me think. Okay. The golden nugget for the day. Okay. Everyone listening to this absolutely needs to get celebritized. People need to know you have the open sign banner on your door, virtually or in person. So in order to get celebritized and people to know you're in business, I'm going to say this. One of the most trending things right now is podcasting. So my golden nugget is for you to go out and get on a podcast right away. But here's the golden nugget. Most people don't teach this. Make sure you are a fan of the podcast and that podcast, before you reach out to offer them your services, saying you have something to enrich their life, their show, it's all about them and their audience. The golden nugget is to make sure that podcast has the audience that you serve, that the audience is the audience that you have the solution to their pain, and be as specific as you can. For example, the golden nugget part is, instead of just going on, let's say, Starstina's podcast, because Starstina's fun and you like her, find out if Starstina's audience has the exact demographic that you serve. For example, if you're in the health and wellness business, Tina's in the health and wellness business, right? Okay, there's a good fit. But what if your service, your juicy sauce, is helping teenagers overcome an eating disorder? That's health, that's wellness. And Starstina may deal with, women over 40 trying to lose belly fat after or right before and after menopause. You have two different demographics, although you're thinking, let me get on Star, and I'm just using this example, this isn't the truth, but you're thinking, let me get on the health show. But instead of just thinking health show, think, who are they helping to be healthy? And what is the niche? And the more niche you can be, the faster you'll grow, the more podcasts you can find and offer your services to, build a relationship with, and get on the right ones. And wouldn't you rather have an audience of 50 people that all have the pain you solve versus being in an audience of 1,000 people that are all women entrepreneurs? How many people would think will buy from you if they're just, oh, wow, there's going to be 1,000 people at this event. Great. What's the demographic? They're women in business. Goody. But if you have a specific, you help teenagers do this, wouldn't you rather be in a small classroom of 25 teenagers that all suffer from the pain that you solve? How many clients do you think you'll get in that moment versus casting in front of just a whole bunch of people that are just women? So be specific in your demographics, in your search, in your marketing, in everything you do. Niche it down as tight as you can, and you will grow faster and bigger and better.
That was so true. And I experienced that this weekend. And not only what you said, but it makes it more fun in business, right? Because you're going to get results.
Yeah,
This weekend, I had to speak at an event. It was for gun violence. And I was speaking about the trauma and how to get over the trauma. Girl, it felt so good. the books and my products were just going off the table. People were loving it. And I was like, wow, this is great. And it was probably only like 400, 500 people there. And it was just like, I ran out of books, I ran out of product, but I
Of
could have been at
course.
another event which had thousands of people, and people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about trauma. So, and I'm going to do that more, just really focus on where's my
Yes.
people.
Because look at that. You had a room full of 400 or 500 people that all experienced the trauma that you're talking about, that all need your help. Of course, they need that book. And if you had a room of 100 people that experienced gun violence, I bet 100, maybe 99 people would have bought your book, because everybody in there can relate to it and to you. But you get a room of 500 people that are just, like I said, entrepreneurs or motivational speakers or whatever. They don't understand gun violence. Maybe one person, you didn't know like the statistic, how many people have 100 have experienced gun violence in their life. Well, now it's getting a lot more, a lot bigger for sure. But let's just say 5 out of 100 would have experienced gun violence in their day. How many of them would actually buy the book? Let's say 2. But you get in a room of, let's say, 25 people that all have experienced it, your percentages went way out the roof, because they're all in it with you. They're all going to want to take you home. They're all going to want your book.
I said, take me home. I love it.
Thank
Last
you.
question, I
Ask
promise.
questions.
Last question. What can we expect from Aurea McGarry in 2024? I mean, you didn't even talk about your Limelight network. You've got your own network. You've got all these amazing. What else could you possibly want to do? Maybe a book? I don't know.
I've done
What's
books. I've got 8 books. Now I'm live in person now. I am, I'm writing books is not my thing. Even though I've been a collaborator, I've done a lot. I like speaking in person. I love this. This is my favorite thing to do, to talk live. I'm unscripted. I love to inspire. So a lot of things are in the work that I can't even talk about. That'll be surprises. So follow me on social media for sure, but definitely more events. I am going to be doing a lot more with podcasters, going to PodFest in January, which is in Orlando. So I said, why are you doing Orlando in December? I can't be there. But everybody else better go. Be in person, because I'm telling you, if you can go.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. When is it?
PodFest is the end of, you have to look it up. It's like in the 20s, January 20 something. It's in Orlando, PodFest. I'm going to go for the first time because, again, perfect scenario for me, perfect demographic for me, because I'm looking for people that are already podcasting to help them turn their podcast into a television show. So it's an easy expansion. Instead of me having to teach people how to do a podcast from scratch, they're already podcasters. Now let's turn it into a television show. Get them on Apple TV and Roku and Amazon Fire. Have a better YouTube channel. And now I can teach them all the Emmy Award-winning skills that I have to be that interviewer that's now on camera as well. So it's a perfect place for me because I want to meet podcasters. So it's really fun. So if you want to meet podcasters, to be a guest or to be a podcaster, go. So that's going to start my year off, as well as doing some more traveling and being at live events, which brings me back to, if you can get to Stars Tina's event live, and don't just sit home and Zoom because you can. If you can travel, then get to it in person. Because I'm telling you, I love live events. So that's my goal for the new year. I just can't the week before Christmas. You already know that.
Of course.
But other than that, I'd be there. I'd go to Orlando. I'm here in Orlando. I'd hop down to Orlando in a heartbeat. But here's what happens. Those side room conversations that you won't get on Zoom. We are so much more isolated on Zoom, although it's great and we will get a lot out of it. But you're not going to have that bathroom conversation with the woman that was at another table that you meet in the bathroom, and you quickly connect. And before you know it, you guys live in the same neighborhood and you have all this stuff in common and you're new best friends. There's a lot of side hustle that goes on in a live event. So I hope everybody who can get there in person. It matters. I did live events for 12 years. It's absolutely worth its weight in gold to be there in person. Zoom is the next best thing, but don't just sit home. If you can travel, get there. I promise you, you will get that extra sauce there, and you will come back and say, Stars Tina Ray, I'm so glad I went because I met such and such, and we're going to do, I met so-and-so, and we're going to do such and such, and you'll never forget that moment together.
I love it. That we're dropping the mics. Boom. We are out of here. I want you guys to realize, listen to what she said. Her golden nugget was niche down. And you see how she's going to a podcast event in January. You're getting everything you want there, girlfriend. Like, it's there. All right, guys. I'll be back again next week with our next host. I'm sorry, with our next speaker. Aurea, I'm hugging you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. See ya.